Welcome to Cover Slave, the show where we play Warhammer 30k, and it's better than 40k. 40k is not doing too well. Anyway, so we're doing tournament prep?
Yeah, tournament prep. 2,500 points.
What you got, Jay?
I brought my Alpha Legion. I often do.
Because you got it painted finally? All of it?
Yes, I added quite a bit of stuff recently.
I see some bikes.
Got some Outriders, Submarines, a couple other things here and there.
This might shock you, but I also got my army painted.
He did, actually.
So I finally finished my 200 point list. I'm running a Corvus Black Star, is it? As a Stasis Assault Ram, so I'm sure everyone will hate me for that. I've got 3 Javelins, so I'm sure everyone will hate me for that. But,
that's for sure positive on that one.
What else can we say?
Did we mention the Fat Mat before? Have we done?
Oh, we have not. Look, there's a Fat Mat on the table.
It's pretty awesome. Feels awesome. It's kind of like a mouse pad.
Yeah, a very expensive mouse pad.
Very, very expensive mouse pad.
We'll be back with armies and terrain and stuff.
2,500 points of Alpha Legion, aka the Hydra Fire Enclave.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so my Rite of War is Coils of the Hydra. My warlord trait is Strategic Genius, and for my mutable tactics, I am pretty much forced to take, because of the Rite of War, Infiltrate. So starting off with HQ right here, got a Delegatus. He's in Cataphracti armor. He's got a Master Crafted Power Axe. And that's it. So I didn't give him anything else there. Moving right along to...
What's his warlord trait?
I already mentioned that. It's my only HQ, so presumably he's my warlord. Okay, so on to the troops. So we've got a tactical squad here. They've got... I believe they don't have anything... Nope. They're
Artificer on the Sergeant?
Yeah, Artificer on the Sergeant, but nothing on the squad. They're in a Rhino. Rhino's got a Combi Plasma. Identical squad back here. They have a Vexilia, and they're not in a Rhino. So I guess not exactly identical, but there's 10 Marines there. There's, right behind them, an Assault Squad. They're equipped with combat shields, melted bombs. There's a Power Fist and Power Dagger on the Sergeant with Artificer armor. That's pretty cool. They're brand new. I'm digging them. Moving over to Elites. Right next to them, we've got Terminator Squad. The first, they're equipped with 5 Chain Fists, a Plasma Blaster. Nice and simple. Nothing else. Moving down to the second Terminator Squad. Both these Terminator Squads are in Cataphracti armor, I should mention. They may be modeled differently, but they are Cataphracti armor. Okay, this squad has a Plasma Blaster, 3 Chain Fists, 2 Power Swords.
So, it's settled then.
Oh. God damn. Okay. This squad here has 2 Power Swords, 3 Chain Fists, a Plasma Blaster, and 4 Combi Meltas. Moving on to Fast Attack. Over here we've got 2 squads of 3 Outriders. They're equipped with twin-linked plasma guns and melta bombs. Back here we have 2 separate quad mortar siege guns, or whatever they're called, support batteries. They're equipped with shatter rounds. Behind that is a Vindicator laser destroyer array equipped tank hunter, and it has nothing else, just comes stock. Beside that, we have the Lightning Strike Fighter. It's equipped with tank hunter and strafing run. I forget what the equipment's called, and it has 4 of the Kraken Penetrator missiles. Beside that, we have the Leviathan Siege Dreadnought. It's equipped with a Storm Cannon, the twin-linked Volkites, the Meltagun, and the Armorbane Arm, the drill I believe it's called. And finally, next to it, we have a stock Scorpius. That's it for me.
2,500 point Iron Warrior Sons of the Sigillite list. I am running Hammer of Olympia as my Rite of War. And that requires me to take a Warsmith, which is my leader up here. So basically Predator stats, he's got a Power Fist, Paragon Blade, digital weapons, Melt a Bomb, and he's in Artificer armor, and he has a 4+ invul save. Next to him we got a Consul there, that is a Chaplain in Terminator armor. I believe he's wearing the, help me out Jay.
Oh,
Cataphracti Terminator armor. And he's got a Power Maul, as you can see, and a Twin Link Bolter. Alright, we've got 1, 2, 3 tactical squads. Basically, all they have is the Artificer on the Sergeant, and I believe melta bombs on each one. And they're each in a Rhino with a combi plasma because they're 5 points now. Moving on, we've got a unit of 2 quad mortars, or quad guns or whatever, with shatter on both. Behind them, we've got a Scorpius stock. Next to them, we have 5 Cataphracti Terminators, 4 Chain Fist, 1 Power Fist, and a Plasma Blaster on that unit. We've got 2 Mortis Contemptors, both with the Carus Assault Cannons. Behind them, we've got 2 Vindicators with the Laser Destroyer Arrays. Next to them, we have my Cestus Assault Ram. It's been modified. It's got the right guns in the front, you know. So it has the melted thing and 2 missile launchers, 1 here and 1 here. Next to them, we got 3 separate Javelins. All of them have multi-meltas and cyclone missile launcher things. And of course, each has 200 killer missiles. And I believe that's pretty much everything. So that makes 2,500 points. And all my stuff that's available to get it has free extra armor as part of the Rite of War. So pretty much everything but the plane and the speeders, I think. Anyway, 2,500. Oh, and my Warlord trait is Strategic Genius, just like Jay's, because I'm really original. Iron Warrior Sons of the Sigillite deployment, starting over here. Got a Mortis Contemptor here. Got my quad mortars here, near the objective. Behind them, I've got a Javelin. To the right of that, I have my Scorpius, kind of hiding behind the cover here. I've got a Vindicator here, another Vindicator right next to him. My other Mortis Contemptor with Carus right here. Next to him, I've got my Javelin. Chilling next to the Javelin, I've got my Rhino with the unit inside. Chilling next to that Rhino is another Javelin. And next to that Javelin is an empty Rhino. So that was my deployment. As you can see, it's normal deployment. And we have 5 objectives today. We got 1 here, 1 there, 1 over in that corner there, 1 right down there, and then 1 over here. And be back with my reserves. Reserves, I've got a tactical squad with my Warsmith Praetor in normal reserve. Got another tactical squad in the Rhino in normal reserve. And last but certainly not least, I've got my 5 Cataphracti Terminators with a Chaplain in this beautiful Cestus Ram, also in normal reserve.
Alpha Legion deployment. We're going to start over here. It's kind of hard to tell. There's a Rhino behind there. He actually infiltrated there. The quad guns. The quad guns. This guy infiltrated over here as well. I know it's not really in the middle of the field. Over here, for regular deployment, these 3 vehicles, they set up here. A nice little base of operations there in the middle. Over here, this unit of Terminators infiltrated into position here, as well as this gun. So that's it for Alpha Legion deployment. We'll see you with reserves. Reserves here, right here. All this is outflanking the assault squad, the 2 squads of bikes, and the Terminator squad. Over here in regular reserve, we have the planes flying on, doing its plane thing. We have a squad of tactical Marines with the Delegatus. They're coming in from reserve. Stealing the initiative live. Before I do, I'm going to explain a couple things. So a combination of my Warlord trait and my Rite of War. My Rite of War gives me +1. Oh, no, sorry, my Rite of War allows me to re-roll the initiative if I choose. I choose between that and another ability. And my Warlord trait adds +1. So I've got to roll 5 or 6, and I get 2 chances. So here we go. Big money. Nope. All right. So we're gonna use that re-roll.
Dun dun dun.
Come on, come on. Daddy needs it. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Alpha Legion trickery works every time. Alpha Legion turn 1. We're gonna start right here. These guys, they marched up 6 inches. Fired the plasma blaster off here, scored an amazing amount of damage, and actually managed to immobilize and cost 2 hull points there. Back here, this gun fired its shattered rounds. Down here, managed to actually score a lot of, again, some lucky rolls and took out this speeder.
First blood!
First blood, baby! Alright, down here, we got the Leviathan. He stomped around the corner a bit. He managed to get a bead on this guy, and he fired off a storm cannon, only did 1 hull point. Still better than nothing, so I'm going to take it. Over here, the Vindicator scored again. There's a lot of lucky, some high rolls, and managed to destroy the Rhino there. And the explosion killed 2 of the tactical Marines, and the explosion managed to make them snap fire from the the leadership check you have to take there. Over here, the Scorpius fired, scored two shots, and they both hit and scored a whole lot of hits over there. I managed to take out the Thunderfire guns, or whatever they're called, the quad guns. So that was pretty cool. The Rhino over here is still chilling. He's just chilling like a villain. Back here, very last thing. This fired its shadow rounds over here, scored 1 hull point on this Mortis Dreadnought. So yeah, that's the end of Alpha Legion turn 1. We'll see you at the end of Iron Warriors turn 1.
Iron Warriors, Sons of the Sigillite, turn 1, starting at this end. I had a wonderful Mortis Contemptor that was up front here, and he took a hull point. So I backed him off 6 and then ran another 6 to be back here. So he's pretty safe. The Scorpius engaged over the corner there at Jason's quad guns. But unfortunately scattering, and I did not hit anything. Unfortunate. Coming back over here, the 2 remaining crewmen from the my quad mortar squad kind of moved and ran snugly in there to get some cover. My first Vindicator laser tank destroyer spun around and engaged with that same quad mortar unit, but unfortunately Jay made both of his cover saves. That bastard. My second Vindicator tank destroyer, the laser ray, managed to get a very tight shot on Jay's arm there on his Leviathan Dreadnought, but unfortunately I think I only got a hull point, or he could be cover saves. Yeah, he made a cover save pretty good. My speeders back over here. This guy moved and then turbo busted to be where he is currently, and so did he from over there. So they both kind of came in and they're hiding behind the big LOS blocker. Moving down, this Walker shimmied a little bit and then opened fire on Jay's Leviathan, I believe doing another hull point, so that's cool. Back over on this end, the unit that was inside the run that blew up moved and ran underneath the floor of the building, so they're very safe from Jay's quad guns and Scorpiuses. This guy is unfortunately immobilized, so he just took some snapshots that didn't hit the Terminators. So yeah, I believe that's it for my shooting. All in all, not the greatest first turn ever, but my reserves are coming, so we'll see you at the end of Alpha Legion turn 2.
This is the end of Alpha Legion turn 2. So I had some reserves come in. We're gonna start over here. So it's worth noting there was a unit of bikes that came in here in my turn. They showed up right here. They shot this unit up here. There was a couple, I think I killed like 2 guys, 3 guys, or something like that. There was a Rhino that was right here, the fabled Rhino. So this Rhino was destroyed by, I don't know, some plasma or something from back here. Yeah, it could have been from the plasma blaster here. What happened was it was destroyed, and because of the rules we have for Rex, this plasma blaster fired at the Rhino, causing it to explode, rolled a bunch of 6s, huge explosion. Long story short, it wiped out the bike unit inexplicably. Many 5s and 6s were rolled, many 1s and 2s were rolled, many tears were shed. Anyways, moving along, this unit here just shimmied up. They fired their plasma blaster up the field. Back here, the squad of duders came on. They moved into the ruin and kind of ran around. Back here, this quad gun fired, shot, hit this guy. I believe it bounced. I think he passed his cover save on that one, but from the Rhino, sorry, the Vindicator and the Leviathan combined did like, I think those 2 hull points, or one hull point. Yes, that's right. The Vindicator fired with all his might, did 3 penetrating hits, and he rolled a 666.
The devil.
Shield. So the devil was definitely
The
on his
devil
side
protects
for
my
that.
Dreadnought.
Moving over here, the Whirly Bird fired its missiles up and over, got nice 3 hits on each of these vehicles. He passed all his jinx saves, so not much more to say about that. So that's pretty cool, for him anyway. Over here, the Rhino just scooted up, moved flat out to get behind, get some cover. The quad gun back here, fired, tried to get a little bit of vengeance. Actually managed to score a hull point, so technically did better than the Scorpius in that regard. Over here, the other bike squad trying to get vengeance for the exploding other squads. This squad fired into the side of the Scorpius. Did 2 hull points with their plasma guns. Not bad. I can't complain about that. The lastly over here, going on the theme of things exploding and people dying, I lost 2 guys from the explosion from the Dreadnought that was here. It had many melta bombs latched onto it, exploded, killed 2 of my guys, I think. Yeah, 2 of them. So, I don't know, they're still there, so that's pretty cool. Can't complain about that. That's the end of Alpha Legion turn 2. We'll see you at the end of Iron Warriors turn 2.
And of Iron Warriors Sons of the Sigillite turn 2. I'm going to start you off by reserves over here. This plane came in, flew 18 inches off the board edge there, and proceeded to open fire on Jason's unit of Cataphracti Terminators, killing 1. And then with combined fire from this Vindicator over here, causing the second wound, they end up running away. Pretty sweet. Falling all the way over here by the reserve that came in off the board edge. This Renault, they all probably got out and rapid fired into these guys. I wanted to charge, but they had to get out of Rhino, so they can't charge. But yeah, the rapid fire killed a couple guys, and then the Rhino also used its combi plasma, I think killed 1 more. So Jay's got 5 guys left underneath there. Moving down, I had a unit of 2 guys here that were left from the quad guns. They ran up, 1 threw a crack grenade, 1 fired pistol, charged, then Jay plasma to share them in the charging. He jinked, of course, as you can see there. These 2 speeders were snap firing. Attempted to shoot here. This one couldn't do anything. This one managed to kill the 1 guy that was there. Jay didn't run, obviously. This Scorpius over here engaged way over on Jay's tactical unit that came in from reserve, killing 4 tacticals. Jay electing not to go to ground. Moving back over to my end here, this Walker moved back 6 inches, came around the corner and opened fire on Jay's unit of Cataphracti Terminators here, killing 2 of them, but Jay did not run, so that's good for Jay. The unit underneath was snap firing, tried to shoot bolters, but couldn't hurt them at all. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Both my Vindies are still alive and well. That's good, I guess. This Whirlwind's still alive somehow, so that's good. We'll see you at the end of Alpha Legion turn 3.
End of Alpha Legion turn 3. Over here, we're going to start with the airplane. He came in. I managed to bring him in from reserve. He flew in. I fired all 4 Krakens at that plane. He jinked. I managed to hit once. I actually missed 3 times. You know, whatever, it happens. And he passed his jink, but you know, it's fine because the past 2 times these planes have met, the lightning has won.
Crash to the ground.
So, you know, I think it's about time, really, you know, just statistically. Moving down here, these guys managed to rally. They didn't do much else. They just sort of scooched a little bit closer to the objective. Over here, this quad gun fired underneath the plane at the other aircraft. Didn't get any hits. Over here, the squad continued to move down the street. The squaddies ran forward a little bit. Cataphracti guys lagging up. He's a little fat, so you know it's kind of hard for him to run. This vehicle here, he moved 12 inches out. Fired a snapshot over there, missed. Always worth it, but that's fine. Over here, this guy, he angled his gun down the street, managed to score the last glancing hit onto the dreadnought over there. That's pretty
Revenge.
cool. Before we go too much further, why don't we go back over to these guys here. They actually managed to approach the squad. They fired some shots in. I think they killed 1 or 2. They actually made a 7-inch charge, just barely. And managed to clobber these guys in close combat and consolidate in there. The remaining guy is running. He just made it to the end of the table. We'll see if he rallies. You know, Ben's always got that 1 guy left. Yeah, we did that over here. So the Scorpius fired again at the, believe it was this one, at the javelins. Again, Ben managed to jink all of the damage that I inflicted. Over here, the quad gun here fired at this javelin, managing to down it with 2 penetrating hits. That was pretty cool. Over here, this Rhino scooched over, fired its combi plasma over here to no effect. The squad of assault marines in here actually managed to turn around and assault and make this unit of tacticals flee off the table. So that was pretty cool. Pretty stoked about that. Over here, the bikes managed, even though they were snap firing with all their twin linking, they managed to get that last hull point on the Scorpius, so pretty happy about that. Yeah, I think that's everything, not much else to cover. No. Alright, so we'll see you at the, that was the end of Alpha Legion turn 3. We'll see you at the end of Iron Warriors turn 3.
Iron Warriors Sons of the Sigillite turn 3. And my reserve didn't come in. Boo! Gonna start over here. So my speeder moved 12 from here to here with snapfire, unfortunately. Engaged with these bikes, that's got it over there. And unfortunately, I couldn't hit him because of the snap firing, hence no good. This Renault boosted 12 and then another 6 in the shooting phase up to there. This Vindicator Tank Destroyer fired its laser at Jace 1's quad gun over there, and I killed one guy putting a wound in the gun. The second... Oh, I didn't roll for these. We're doing it live!
I was gonna just mention
Doing it live. Good. Next guy. Good. No overheats here. Anyway, moving on. So he engaged with Jason's laser Vindicator Destroyer. It exploded and it hit the Terminators in that unit. The Terminators are okay. That unit lost one guy, I want to say. So that's kind of fun. Moving back over, a plane here. Moved to hover mode. The guys got out and he moved 6. He fired his missiles, snap firing at the Scorpius. That's also done now. But unfortunately did nothing to the Scorpius. And last but certainly not least, back behind here, the Cataphracta Terminators with the chaplain that had disembarked from the Saestis fired and charged. The shooting from bolters and stuff actually killed 2 of the Terminators. I charged. Jay had 1 Terminator left. He fired his plasma blaster, killing 2 of mine in Overwatch. And made it in and killed them. So I've got 3 of mine left and a chaplain. So it's getting scary. At least my unit automatically comes in next turn. So we'll see you at the end of Alpha Legion turn 4.
Alpha Legion turn 4. We're gonna start over here. So okay, so there was a plane here, a Cestus assault ram. It came down from the heavens and got a little too close. And these chain fists, they cut it up real good. They carve into it like a turkey. And yeah, so that was that. Back here, this battery fired. It fired at the aircraft, I believe, as well. Didn't do anything. It did maybe one whole.
Made a jink.
Made a jink, yeah. These guys back here, they just moved further towards this objective. The Dreadnought here moved further out into the street. He fired at this Vindicator here, I believe, stunning it and causing a hull point. Or perhaps it was the aircraft.
The plane.
It was the plane. Okay, so so it fired, didn't do anything. The aircraft here fired its last cannon, did a hull point, and managed to stun it. Kind of cool. In the back there, you see some bikes. They're in there causing a ruckus. They did a hull point with their shooting, and then assaulted with the melted bombs for the kill. Over here, the jump marines. They were over here. I don't know. They jumped over here to attack the rhino that was coming down the street, and they took it out with melted bombs. Rhino over here kind of moved out to try and do the same thing. He didn't have much success, but he did drop off his cargo of soldiers back here. And these guys here fired at that javelin, took it out, blasted that guy out of the sky. Pretty cool. And last but not least, Scorpius fired, had a good spread of 4, but he missed just and landed right there. So what can you do about it? They had 2 plus 7. Anyway, so that's the end of Alpha Legion turn 4. We'll see you at the end of Iron Warriors turn 4.
Iron Warriors, Sons of the Sigillite, turn 4. My reserve, last one finally came in over here. Me, being a cheeky bastard, was going to do this really wide charge where, because these guys can rapid fire, I was going to rapid fire this unit of assault marines here. Did that, killed 2, needed an 11 for the charge, failed it, and then we found out that you have to make your primary target for charging, even with a multi-charge. So even though I had 1 inch of charge over here for the secondary target, they didn't make it in, so...
His guys can rapid fire and charge.
Yeah, so they're not engaged. Unfortunate. Over here, that's pretty much all that happened, and you didn't run, correct? So...
what was that
they're still
from?
there, so they didn't run.
No.
Moving down. This is pretty funny. My snap-firing Vindicator laser array guy here shot here, where Jason's Leviathan Dreadnought was, and somehow got that 1 pen, and Jay failed his 4+ invul, and I rolled a 5 and kablooey. So that makes me happy inside. Moving down. My 2 Termies ran under the floor to hide from barrage. The last remaining one is like 2-inch coherency. Fires plasma blaster at those Terminators. I fired and I rolled a couple 2s. Very unfortunate. The chaplain split off from this unit, moved out 6. Went and shot his bolter but didn't charge because they would gank the shit out of him. So that's where we're at right now. We'll see you at the end of Alpha Legion turn 5.
Alpha Legion turn 5. We're gonna start over here. These Terminators move back a little bit, 3-4 inches. Rapid fired over here, didn't do anything. This quad cannon over here fired. Got 3 hits, 3 wounds, didn't do anything. Yeah, it's worth a shot. Over here, these guys move on to the objective. Big surprise. Whirlybird, MVP, fired, got a really nice solid hit.
5.
Did 9 wounds, I believe, and unfortunately for the Alpha Legion at least, the sergeant was able to tank about 4 of those saves with his Joe save. But hey, I mean that's how it works. It's the game. These guys here, I can't remember what blew it up. I think it was okay. So the plane fired its last cannon at the Whirlybird, which exploded, killing one of my guys. I believe 1 or 2 of his.
One of
guys.
mine.
The explosion also hit another wreck, which was the armor 10 was facing that direction, which meant if I rolled a 6, which of course I rolled a 6, which blew it up again. That didn't do anything. I don't think it killed anyone. It hurt these guys, but it didn't. They passed their saves. But that was pretty spectacular. So chain reaction explosion. All the stuff exploding. A lot of stuff exploding in this game. These guys are just chilling on the objective over here. This quad gun fire. What did they fire? Oh, they fired it over here, trying to get some hits, but it actually scattered and landed onto my rhino, causing a hull point. But hey, whatever. That's okay. So yeah, that's it for Alpha Legion turn 5. That's it for me for the game. We'll see you at the end of Iron Warriors turn 5.
Iron Warriors, Sons of the Sigillite, turn 5, the end of the game. Let's start over Hizzy. There was an assault marine here. He was shot at and then charged by my character there, who then killed him and ran this way. The unit that split off here charged the Renault, and as you can see, it's now wrecked, and they're holding this objective. Jay over there is holding that objective unopposed, moving down. Couldn't do anything about the bikes or the planes, so they remain. These guys are quite surprisingly still dead. Underneath here, I fired my plasma, killing 1 Terminator, but he did not run. And these guys are still underneath holding this objective. I attempted to shoot here, didn't do anything, but then charged. Was 1 inch short, unfortunately, so couldn't contest, so Jay's holding that objective. And of course, you move towards the back there, Jay is also holding that objective. So that would be a total of 3 objectives held by the Alpha Legion for a total of 9 victory points. And the Alpha Legion, Jay, also got first blood, so that's 10 victory points. I hold this objective here, and I hold this objective here for 6 victory points. So that would be a major victory to Jason. Yay! We'll see you in the post-game show. Welcome to the post-game show!
Hey, what's up?
This is crablezworth. That was a sentence, and with me is Anubis, Jason.
Thank you.
We've had a few drinks. Several. And, well, more like shots, really. It was like mixed.
We drank them.
The point is, you totally just watched us play a full battle report and didn't fast forward.
No.
Because we don't have analytics and we can't see if you lie. Anyway, you're in a good country that is obviously able to understand English, or so on.
Yep. Yeah.
Without going into too much detail, Jay, why don't you start us off with your MVPness?
MVPness. Is that what we're calling it
Your
now?
most valuable.
Okay,
penis.
so
we're
I think
adults. We're adults. Most valuable.
I
penis.
think we both know.
Which one is it?
So it's the Scorpius.
Yeah.
The Scorpius, for sure. He
He
sat back here.
getting anchored the whole thing.
I put him in the middle. He could hit his whole army, and I just had.
Nope,
I don't
I
know.
understand.
With the exception of like 1 turn, it was like hit, multiple hits, death. Like right. So I stole the initiative.
death.
Right away, I took out his. What's going on with that gun? So your quad guns.
That was
mortars,
ruthless.
Like first turn, right away.
First shot of the game was the first blood. The second shot of the game was that.
It was first blood. No, the guns.
That was like the second shot of the game. But
That
that
was the first. The first thing I did was kill.
Oh, then it was okay. So that was first
Yeah,
blood.
and then I did those. So
brutal first turn.
So I stole the initiative, got first blood, and killed his guns. Awesome.
What else did you
MVP.
do?
Oh, jeez. What else did it kill?
She.
Well,
What'd she do,
what she do? Well, she made your javelins jink like 2 turns in a row, 3 turns in a row.
I don't think they stopped jinking after you started.
I just
The
kept,
first it was like jink, jink, jink. Yeah.
I just kept them suppressed with everything I could, but
My
no.
poor speeders did not have a good performance.
No, she took a bunch of Marines off the table too. In the end.
So if that is your MV,
Yep, MVP. That's my
what
choice.
would be your epic?
And
epic fail.
I think we know this
people
one too.
pronounce things in English.
So it's the bikes that showed up from the
Well,
outflank.
over there, yeah.
And
Tell the tale.
so okay, so they appear, the outflank, you know, it's great. I've got a whole bunch of shots lined up. I actually managed to shoot, get a bunch of hits. But
Kill a Marine.
he had the one Marine in cover and he went to ground and like passed a whole bunch of saves and I killed like 2. Alright, I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe I can get in there with assault. So I wanted to clear the way and just get the Rhino out of the way and just deal, you know.
So your outflanking Terminators did what?
So my outflanking Terminators with their plasma blasters shot this Rhino that was a wreck from previous.
And we play with destructible wrecks because we're good people.
Long story short, the resulting explosion hit all 3 of the bikes.
I rolled a 5, a 5, and a 6.
And then I rolled
That's
2
fine.
1s and a 2. And so, in the same turn that they arrived, the bikes just were evaporated. So that was my epic fail.
And there's that poor Terminator with the plasma blaster. Everyone just turns to look at him and he's like, "What does it mean? That Rhino had to die. You saw what
You wanted me to shoot it, like no, he did.
He literally like like
He just did his job. I can't
Yeah.
be mad at him. He did it really well.
that was an epic fail.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I knew the risk.
But you know, at the same time, that was a total fluke, as you say. It wasn't really like
It was a little abhorrent math.
you can regret the shot, but you can't regret like.
There was a bunch of other things that it would have impacted.
Let's be honest. That same guy who fucked the dog on that went on to
Oh, yeah.
one shot, not one but 2 people charging at him.
Yeah,
he was the last one left alive in that Terminator unit after I ganked the 2 other guys.
Yo, he was.
And he's just like boom, boom, takes 2 of mine down.
Yeah,
just
he takes down 2 cataphractic Terminators on
completely
Overwatch.
evens the score.
Yeah.
And then we fight and die. Well, of course you're gonna die.
Yeah, he
but
plays a lot of Overwatch. That guy.
He does.
Yeah.
He really was good in this
played
game
with him.
though. All your shots with him were pretty ace.
Yeah.
Especially the Rhino. Jay, you should probably ask me a question or 2 at this point. At this juncture.
I should probably ask you, what do you think your MVP was?
That's a very different question to me too. You know, I'll say the Terminator Squad because they did what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
The plane assisted. He survived, but that was really a calamity on your behalf. That wasn't really my. Something I did. I just got lucky. You didn't get
I chain fisted him. Like,
Yeah, I love that too. I totally forgot that when you have to get out, you change to hover mode, and
Yeah.
then you can charge me. That's fine. I paid my price.
Yeah. I was like, hey, that base, I can charge it now. I can
We
charge that base.
can all hate the fact that I'm using that model for stasis at the same time. They are not nigh indestructible. What else? Your Leviathan survived for quite a while. He kind of got kinked.
He didn't do a whole lot, but he didn't do nothing. So, I mean, considering he's like almost 400 points or whatever.
That's a lot.
Like he's like
He never gets his ideal target, which is guys with 3+, just like ganking.
I think he's like 300 something. I don't know, whatever it is. But
He protected the realm.
he's supposed to guard my backfield, and he didn't really come over here too much and threaten that. So but that's kind of good for you in terms that like you don't know, like your plan wasn't bad.
As a
You
total
were playing
secretary, I really liked where you deployed your quad guns. It was cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that worked out.
But yeah, we also have to look at my.
Oh yes, what was your epic fail?
Quells the Hydra. You disrupting my reserves. Well, actually,
That was the best.
it's not really the unit's fault. That was my epic fail. Was just getting held until turn 4.
Yep.
If that unit had come in even 1 turn earlier, I could have had my choice of a few things to gank. Like out of that assault squad or the
That was
bikes
lucky
would have
on my part.
It's a great ability to make it. I have a reroll. I'm just like him. We have the same world.
Yeah.
We go the strategic genius, so I can reroll my reserves. But Coils adds 1 to what I have to roll, so it takes it from a 3 to a 4, and I would just not get it. I'd roll I'd like a 3. Jay would like snicker from the corner of the table. I'd pick up the dice again, all confident. Roll my shoulders.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, we're gonna reroll.
Roll it again, like there's no care in the fucking world. Be a 3 again. Then be Jay snickering from the corner. I'm just like, how fair he is, you cunt. Don't do it.
It was great.
So he held me till turn 4, so that's the epic fail. They came in, they did what they do, but that wasn't shocking to anyone. Like, ooh, you got 1 assault marine and a rhino, you rebel.
They effectively did what my squad over here did, which is take an objective.
Yeah.
I mean, so at least they did that, but yeah.
I will also point out, now that we've got the interim stuff, this game could have been pretty different. In so much as we rolled here, and I would have needed a 5 to charge my chaplain. I rolled 4. And at the end of the game, we kind of did like, what would have happened there, you know? So, roll, charge, get it. I go in, and somehow, we fight. I don't do anything to him, you don't do anything to me. So how that, if we had somehow pulled off the charge, you know, the score would have been 7-6.
Yeah.
1 VP, first blood, funny enough.
Yep.
And as it usually goes. And he would have been a minor in the tournament instead of a major, but I did not make the charge. So
No.
well played, sir. I was concerned. I get why you backed off to make the charge better, but I'm like, I kind of think like, well, you kind of want me to charge you because if you kept me 3 inches away, I charged you. I would have just gotten.
I honestly forgot about you coming over and contesting.
It reminded me of that game where my one guy ran out from a door, and there was just a gap in your line, so he was just like, and like contested a fucking objective last turn, and you're like, what the? No! Like it came out of nowhere. You're completely blindsided.
It's totally because I moved when I didn't have to too.
But this was a great game.
There I was thinking again. I didn't want you to get 3 hits, 3 wounds, 3 dead from you had like your Vindicator over there.
You made that point, and that's also I commented to you that you should have used your bikes to contest, but you very rightly said your Vindy was still alive.
I was like,
after it just snap fired to your Leviathan, you were taking no chances on shooting there.
No,
because if I shot those turn me's off the objective, you'd be like, "Fuck, his Vindy won't die."
Yeah, it was great. Good times.
What are your? Okay, I will give you 2 minutes or less your overall thoughts on the game from this moment go.
Overall thoughts on the game.
Chase it in an echo chamber. Go.
Well,
I say nothing.
I really enjoyed playing this list.
Right?
So that was a lot of fun. It really felt like I was playing Off Legion.
It did.
So that was cool.
Unlike a certain other game.
The table was great. We have some new terrain.
Hey, well, another call for the fat man.
We got. These things. They're pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway.
Just like a little nipple.
So we had a couple new things. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like this building.
I like the fat man.
The fat mat is fantastic. If you haven't
rolling on it, like
do you hear that? Yes, excellent.
A fine china.
I feel like there's a couple things I probably would regret, but honestly, most of the game went pretty well. I can't complain too much. Everything worked out
on time where you wanted them.
I think
a lot of choice. For that
I think I've got my strategy down for the tournament. But encircle and destroy.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, exactly. The plane was I had a little bit of blue balls on the plane. Didn't get to shoot down as.
But as you rightfully said, that's the first time in 2 games.
Oh yeah,
I've
literally like the fact that I managed to hold it back for the interception for a 3rd time in a row. I was like, okay, something's gonna go wrong here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that.
It's the reason I don't feel bad taking it because you could just 4 Kraken me out of the face. Even if I knock down half, you're still doing 2 pens most of the time. Release the Kraken in.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I got lucky and survived like 1 turn on the board.
Yeah.
From you.
Yeah. So
in summation,
the game was good, and the terrain was good, and it was fun, and I enjoyed playing Ben, and I really don't know what else to say. I think that's okay. So in whatever minutes or less. Your thoughts on the game?
2 minutes less. Okay. I learned stuff. I really forgot that you had as many outflankers. I didn't leave enough space on the flanks because I forgot you had both bikes.
I had a lot of cavalry
and jump troops, so they both can come in 12 in charge. 12.
Oh yeah.
Because we play with Fear the Flanks, because it's a fantastic rule to have on all your scenarios. We just apply it to the scenarios.
It's so much better.
See that way.
It's simple and amazing.
So I would say I fucked up there and I didn't deploy the well. It still was a pretty good center. Like the Vindies in the Whirlwind are where they needed to be for the most part. But
their deployment was fine. I mean, the dreads.
The dreads shouldn't have been on the flank. They should have been doing what
I honestly thought
they should have been creeping both sides of the LOS blocker so that no matter what, one of them could get your dread in the bum.
I don't think it was a
challenge your Whirlwind.
I agree. I don't think it was a terrible idea. I thought you were just going to add fire support for your flanks because you were like, well, he's coming out of the sides.
It's from playing Clarence, and I keep thinking of drop pods or something. I keep thinking like,
I thought you were going to engage the helical targeting rays and
I
get
never
Overwatch.
even thought of it.
But you
I
could
never
snap
thought of it.
firing, right? But yeah, because you got interceptor. But I don't
Yeah,
think
I
it would
got
work
that
on
fourth
it wouldn't work on the first turn, which would mean, well,
It can give you like
you still be able
Skyfire
to do it.
immediately.
because the game
And
it's
Interceptor. Interceptor doesn't interfere with Skyfire, it just means you better be shooting the plane if you're gonna activate it. And I think you still have to do it in the movement phase.
yeah.
So like at the start of the movement phase, you'd be like, look, I'm not moving, head up, go
Yeah.
targeting, and then I
I
get
mean,
my Skyfire.
you could snap fire ground targets. I don't know why if that's worth giving up.
The reality
shooting.
is you're playing without the Krakens is sort of like a da-da-da. It's fine, it's just one last cannon, right? It's all of a sudden it goes from being like, you're playing, like, it goes from being the Angel of Death to just like, hey, like there's a flying last cannon.
Yeah, I mean it's Tank Hunter and BS5 Twin Link.
I didn't
but
mean to diminish it, I just
No.
meant like the sheer
I agree.
brutal nature of it.
I
goes
completely
away.
agree. It's not.
And it
it's
can't
definitely-
often contest, so unless there's a high up objective, unless the
No.
objective's like, you know,
It's just a
right
tank.
there or
It's
something.
just a tank killer.
But anyway, no, I really enjoyed it. You played very well. I suffered some misfortune, but I can certainly blame myself for a lot of mistakes. I pussyfooted around the javelins, shimmying, shammying around, and then let you get me too jig
It's
way too
impressed you a
often.
lot,
So
for sure.
I really should have just played all three of them really aggressive and just picked a flank and kind of gone at it. I didn't.
Yeah,
And
you
I
just-
have to stop playing defensively with them. I have to go aggressive.
Yeah.
That and the Vindies, I probably could have been a little bit more aggressive with where they placed, but in my thinking, I still had overwhelming firepower to yours, so you probably wouldn't challenge me. Like 2 to
Well,
1,
I-
2 to 1 on one flank.
Basically, I came out with when I decided to move my
you could
Vindicator
have trapped
out.
carefully and.
Well, that was a lucky shot, but whatever.
It definitely was. But no, I really enjoyed it. It was a good game. It shows how close the game can be. Because as I said, like one charge in a combat where you didn't kill
Yeah.
me would have been very different.
There was some brutal close combat.
Brutal. Absolutely.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
One lesson to be learned was the multi-charge thing. I have to pick that main target a bit better.
Yeah.
I should have just not fired. Like firing, I killed 2 of your guys. You didn't run, and then I made it harder to charge.
Yeah.
I should have not fired anything, and then picked the smarter of the 2 main targets, like the one I couldn't fail. And then if I rolled high, maybe I'd get the other one.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-dur. You know, like that's pretty much how it works.
Yeah.
If you have a low count unit, like a couple models, all you need to do is get 1 or 2 to be in that base contact. The rest can snake out with their coherency of 2 inches base to base.
Yeah.
Try and get something else. So I'm glad I learned that lesson because I will not forget it. Other than that, I don't know, pretty good practice for Saturday. This is probably the easiest of the 4 missions, I would say, for any of us.
Yeah.
5 objectives makes it, I'm not saying easy so much as we can really spread out and hope that where we end up is going to be something relevant to the game. When it comes down to 3, for example, it's a very tight game. It's very rough for that 3rd objective. Especially if it's in no man's land. If it was like 1, 2, 3, oh god.
Yeah.
Your jump pack guys would be happy, everyone else would be miserable. As an infiltrator, you'd be happy because you could just infiltrate up there. At some point, we stopped recording there. It might have been minutes or hours or decades.
Days.
You may have seen like 5 seconds of us and stop recording. Who knows? And anyway, good game, fun game. You won 6 to 10. Learned a lot.
It was good. Alpha
Fun
Legion.
stuff.
Yeah.
Quails.
So
annoying.
initiative.
Plus 1 of my reserves. Fuck you. Jason, I believe, has some interesting stuff for our favorite segment, which is Shit Talk 40K.
Shit Talk 40K.
And you've done the research. Show them the research.
I did some research and scribbled some notes. They're really.
It's got a few facts.
I drew a little
out
circle
there.
right here. Okay, so Alpha Legion have rules for 40K again.
40K.
Yeah. So some of it I like. Basic gist of it is, from what I've seen, I could be wrong on some of this, but there's like a detachment that you can take. There's specific warlord traits you can take. I haven't actually seen the warlord traits yet, but I understand that there are Alpha Legion warlord traits, which is interesting. Which means there's going to be a lot of warlord traits running around because I'm sure every other legion has them. So one of the things that I think Alpha Legion do in general is that they have this rule called the many heads of the hydra. Every time your warlord,
Can I just poison the well and say it's kind of stupid?
It's kind of stupid.
Go ahead.
It's interesting, but
I
kind
had
of
to poison the well.
stupid.
Okay, go ahead.
So, when you lose your warlord, you pick a character. You don't randomize. You just pick a character, and this is your new warlord. And you generate a new warlord trait that way. So I mean that.
Hey, you all have Conquer Cities now. I guess you just learned it because Slow-Mo's the new boss.
Yeah, well, maybe he knew it all along, and he was just holding back.
Yeah.
There's just like this great wall of. Okay, so In terms
I feel
of
like Forge World writers are the ones pushing around the GW writers in the hallways. Anyway,
so
go ahead.
it's easy to get a lot of wonky warlord traits, and it's easy to get to not give up your warlord VP. So that's something.
That's fine.
You
It should've
can't
just
take
been
any
that.
unique characters. I think this is all. Again, I don't know what is part of just being Alpha Legion and what is part of the detachment, but there's a detachment you can take. So it also lets you recycle your cultists when they die,
That's cool.
which is kind of cool. But that brings me to a point that I wanted to talk about, which was that.
Something you want to address. Get out there.
Yeah.
Keep talking and make sure we're recording stuff.
Sure. So Balls brought up this a good point as well, is that this is more Word Bearers territory than it is Alpha Legion territory.
I would agree.
Where you have this senseless rabble in the street running, there's the cultists everywhere.
Cultists would be the start of an operation to cover
For
it.
sure,
It
but
wouldn't be how they always
Alpha
fight.
Legion, they had cultists, but they were trained. They could all take melta bombs and infiltrate and stuff. Like with this detachment, you can infiltrate cultists and Chaos Marines, which is cool. But
Chaos Marine part's fine. It's just the cultists.
yeah. Oh, and Chosen are troops. I won't.
Is there still the same point?
I still don't want to take Chosen, but anyway, I guess you could just. I think they could all take combi weapons. I don't know. Whatever. That combined with some wonky rules. I haven't had a look at all of it, so I can't really make a solid judgment on it. But I mean, it's kind of cool.
The
There's
leader
some cool
thing-
artwork that will be.
The leader thing is
now.
classic GW. If Forge World wrote that, it would be this, simply put. As long as you have one character left in your army, they don't get Warlord. If they kill all your characters, they get Warlord. That's it.
Just basically.
But there wouldn't be that extra layer of like,
Warlord trait.
now we have to roll another new Warlord trait.
Yeah.
You're gonna see people like charging first with characters to keep generating better traits.
Oh, and
It's
making
that
it-
gay though, right?
making
It's just like,
really
oh,
wonky armor.
that was I got the one where at the start of the game you get like 3 guys immobilized. Well, you know what? It's not the start of the game, so he's the first one charging. Oh look, he died to plasma in the face. Now this guy rolls. Gonna do strategic again.
Yeah.
Oh look, my whole army has been training to fight in urban combat, but waited until this exact second in the combat to apply the knowledge they've been learning and get a better cover.
More
saving
often
roads.
than not, I feel like it's
That's
going to be
just
useless.
good rose running, you know.
Yeah, more often than not, I feel like it's going to be useless.
Gods of war.
May your hammer be mighty.